Can someone please explain this to me? How did this graft happen? Did it jump from here to here or here to here?
Hey, this is a fun one. I got you. Welcome to Office Hours. Okay, so there's two main concepts we need to talk about here. The first one is how new branches grow, and the second is how trees deal with damage. Here's a cross-section of a trunk with an emerging branch. You can see that the vascular system of this branch grows down into the main trunk and connects to the rest of the plant. But we've got some wood that grows in different directions here. We call this the branch bark ridge up at the top and the branch collar at the bottom. They surround the new growing branch and they're at points of active cell division and active growth. Here's another good diagram of that, and oftentimes when we cut a branch, when we prune our tree, we want to take the bark ridge at the top and the end of the branch collar at the bottom and cut outside of them. Because if we cut through any of this, the tree's ability to seal over damage is reduced because, again, this is our active growing point around that branch. That brings us to something we call CODIT, or the compartmentalization of decay in trees. Essentially, plants and trees don't heal like you and I do. They seal over and compartmentalize damage. So this is my pear tree in my backyard. This was a pretty good pruning cut. I could have done a little better, but you can sort of see the branch bark ridge at the top, branch collar at the bottom. And all of this right here is new wood that tree is rolling out from those growing points to cover over this damage. Now, this will probably take another 10 years if the tree lives that long to seal over, but eventually this growth point right here will roll all the way out and seal over this damage and compartmentalize that potential source of decay. As a result, when a tree is damaged in any way, whether it is you carving your name in it, or a branch being removed, or a branch from another tree growing into it, or someone, leaving their bicycle parked in the tree, all the tree can do is try to seal over and grow over that damage or that intrusion so it can seal off that point of potential decay. So with your trees here, it's a little bit hard to tell, but I'm going to say that the branch was originally connected to this tree and it grew into this one. We can see a branch bark ridge right here. You can see it running around right here, and you can see a little bit of a branch collar down at the bottom. On the other side, we don't have that ridge up at the top. In the second photo from later in the video, you can see this collar a little bit better, and you don't really get one as much here. And those crinkled, sort of rounded parts are actually this tree trying to grow over this tree. But they can graft together. So yeah, they're sharing their vascular system now, and eventually these two stems might grow all the way together and become one big stem. Now, this can potentially cause other problems because you get bark trapped between the stems. It's called a bark inclusion, and sometimes you can get a weak point and stuff like that. But yeah, this was a really cool find. Thanks for sharing it, and thanks to people who tagged me in that. That's a fun one.